Time for an impromptu stream. Hello and welcome to Sylvan Mist Designs, everybody. I have got the day off today. All right, let's get us up and running. There we are. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, so as I mentioned in the description, today this is Tealight number 4. As you can see, I've already got it pre-painted, this beautiful chocolate sprinkle brown. I've got a pattern in mind today. It's a little unusual for me, I think. I think probably about 90% of the time I just kind of sit down and go. But I do have kind of a pattern in mind with this dark. I've got 4 colors that I'm going to be dropping into my palette. I've got white. I've got this warm buff. I've got a nutmeg brown, and then surprise, surprise, we're going to go with cotton candy pink. See how that works. Okay, so now the cotton candy pink and the titanium white are in the Americana Deco Art. Those I'm not going to have to do anything with. However, these two, like I said, I've said it before, my gray and brown colors, I have tons more in Apple Barrel than I do in Deco Art, and that's just, you know, as time wore on, I've slowly been replacing these, but I still have more shades in these than the other, and it's just easier right now to jump in and do a quick stream and not try to have to mix anything preemptively. So what I'm going to do with these ones, because sometimes their texture isn't all that great, I'm going to be adding in a fluid medium to those two. Okay, this one is just the Liquitex Basics. This one happens to be a gloss. Doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, so let me get at least the start here. All right. Again, white, cotton candy pink. I never would have really thought to put pink and brown together, but I've been doing a little research and I think this will come out kind of cute. I'm going to give this a good shake. You're going to hear the little noise. That's because I've got, because of the texture of these, I actually have a couple ball bearings. I don't know, you can actually find them as nail polish agitators, I think, on Amazon, instead of just doing quote-unquote ball bearings. But they're 1/4 inch. I wouldn't do anything smaller or larger than that. I found 2 1/4 inch works really, really well. That just helps. Okay, this one's not as bad as the warm buff, but I'm still going to go ahead and add just a smidge of the gloss in there today. All right, oops, sorry, that was loud, wasn't it? All right, I've got a little bit of buildup around the rim on that. I'm going to drop just a couple drops in here. And again, this has nothing to do with the fact that it is gloss. It's just, for me, a nice, simple, easy way to get the consistency right on these 2 colors. Give that a quick little stir. I usually don't have problems with bubbles. Okay. All right, I've just got a old towel, a little bit of warm water over to the side of me here, making sure that everything gets wiped off. There we go. Okay. You can see this one, unlike the other one, kind of has this chunky center. Again, I wouldn't necessarily say the paint is quote-unquote bad. I mean, it's not old paint, it's just it's not great, but we make it work. Right? I don't like wasting anything. And it comes out pretty darn good with the medium. Okay, all right, there we go. That's good. Okay, give it a quick little tap here. Make sure that all of my bubbles are out. If I did get any, this one catches a little bit. This one did not. All right, we ready? go ahead and scooch just a bit so you can see what's going on. I've got 2 dot art tools there, just the round nail art, and then I've got my set of Happy Dotting Company over here. I think I'm gonna go probably with a 2. You know what? Let's go maybe a little larger, 2.5. Okay, let's get dug in here. Now, see, here's another thing. When I painted this, I had this tipped over, right, to dry, as I did that in parts. And I had this little dot here that I think probably just got stuck. But I'm not even going to worry about that. Okay, because it's just going to be covered right over. And bloop, gone. Right, I mean, these little imperfections really don't mean much. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stick my finger underneath. Now, as I do this, I have my Tealight actually sitting on a Lazy Susan, and then this round, I've just got a piece of wax paper that I cut out over it. Normally, I would only use the wax paper like when I'm doing the base painting, you know, just to keep from making a mess. But because of the dark brown, if I were to sit this Tealight on my Lazy Susan, you would never be able to see anything that I'm doing. Just the dark colors. So it's the only reason I've got that there, in case anybody was wondering. For me, it's my last day of the Labor Day weekend. So a little bit of happier music. I don't necessarily have my typical soft ambient going on in the background. So hopefully that's okay with everybody. Hopefully you're joining in on the fun today. If anybody's following along, this is a 2.5. I do use the Happy Dotting Company tools. They're a flat-headed tool, not the round. Keep in mind though, if you are following along or if you're jotting something down as far as the tool sizes are concerned, if you're going to be using something like the nail art tools that have a round head, please make sure that you're adjusting properly for the sizes, because the round-headed tools are going to have a smaller radius of the dot than the flat. Okay. That's done. I'm going to grab a quick drink here before I get in. All right. So that's it for the first row. I'm not going to do a second. I'm just going to jump right into the main portion. What do we want? Maybe a 5? Maybe even larger than a 5. Can go with a 6 here. Now, how do I want to do this here? This particular one, I didn't draw a grid out on. I wasn't initially 100% sure what I wanted to do, but now I'm wondering. Let's see. Do I want to do a second one here? Just going to give that a quick second to dry. Dries really, really fast. Haven't had any problems with that at all. One of the good things about these is as you work around the edges, by the time you get around to the other side, this part's already dry. So makes it a lot easier. What I might do, All right. Tight here a sec. Kind of looking at the tops here, make sure that they are dry. Like I said, they do dry pretty quickly. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a quick couple marks. Let me get that laid there properly. Oops. Okay, I'm going to have to go over some of those again, but that's okay. Oops. Okay, that's better. Let's go back into a 6. Sometimes I forget I'm sitting on a lazy Susan, and here I am trying to turn this tea light around. Silly me. All right, let's get in here with this. Probably go right back into a 2.5. Let's get a top on this. Let's go with the white. I'm going to keep that pink, I think, for the center and the top. Let's see, do I want a 2? Two is actually too large. Let's go 1.5. That'll be good. Okay. What I'm doing first is putting this little tiny crown up along the top here, and then I'm going to do the swooshes along the side of this. All right, 1.5. I'm going to get this real heavy. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. This one's a little thicker. Want it to stay more on the thin side. And then let's get some pink in here. I think I'm going to go right back into that 6, the initial 6. Let's see what this one's going to look like. It's a little bit of an experiment with color here, so we'll see. See if I can get a good spot for my hand here. Actually, it might be time to lift this. Here, I'm going to make a whole bunch of noise for a moment. Now, I'm actually going to sit the piece up and tilt it just a smidge so that not only is it more visible, let's get that out of the way, but it's going to be easier to work with. Okay. Underneath this, I've just got an old washcloth, and I have actually got a little bag. See, nothing special, just a little DIY thing here. It's just some old pinto beans. All right, get the air out of the bag. All right, and ta-da. Now it's not going to fall off. I've got a nice place to sit that. Okay. All right. Okay, let's get back to this here. Move my palette out of the way just a little bit. Oops. There we go. We're going to be doing a lot of swishes today. Oops. My tool slipped there, so I had a little bit of paint on the side. So I'm basically just going back in here and extending the swoosh out a little bit to my right, just to cover that up. Okay. And let me make this part a little straighter. There. All right. Like I was talking about, now that I'm back to this one's already dry now. So I can work on that. All right, now, do we want to go down a size or do we want to stay in the 6? I think I probably want to stay in the 6. Now let's just go 5, 5. We'll go dark. Hey, how's it going? I'm so sorry. I kind of looked away for a moment. You're going to teach yourself how. I mean, it's fantastic. It's really, really fun. It's really not that difficult. I find that the learning curve is it's not very, like I said, it's not a very steep learning curve. It's nice. Okay. Let me actually get this sat down here. Okay, now what I want to do, so let me get a good spot for my hand here. I'm going to take this and pull it down this way. There. I'm going to turn it this way instead. Okay, and then I'm not wiping off my tool in this instance. This is probably the only time that I don't wipe my tools off. I make sure just to leave them here. The more paint you have on the tool, I'm not going to say the better to a point, but doesn't look like much now, does that? We'll get there. All right, I want to do the other side. Let's see. It's always odd for me because the angle, so. We'll make it work. All right, and this is drying very dark, this particular brown, but I'm gonna lighten it up with some top dots at the end, so it won't completely disappear. Let's see, where can I put my finger? And then somebody wants to call me. Pardon-moi. Okay. Like I said, that's the hardest thing for me, is just to find a good spot to put my hand in. It's goofy. Okay. Oops, let's not miss this one, huh? Yeah, there's that. Now I'll finally get this cleaned off. Now that was a 5-5. I'm probably going to go down 2 for this next one. Actually, let's go to a 4. 4 looks like it's going to fit well. Okay. All right. Spin this around. I'm going to nestle this one right in the crook here. And then what I'm going to try to do, whoops, wrong end of the tool. Let's bring this swoosh all the way around this way. Whoops, this way. little something got there. Let's see. Let me wipe that off real quick. I'm gonna wipe this off here. One thing I like about doing it with two tools instead of just one is that you do get the opportunity to move the paint around a little bit more. Keep trying to use the wrong end. It's a bit bigger, isn't it? It'll fade right in though. Now this is a 3. Actually, you know what? I'm already looking at it and I'm like, well, maybe that's a little big. Let's go to a 2.5. Oh, I don't like that at all. See? I don't know if I can remove it though. Let's see without getting everything off of there. Nope. Okay, hold on. I need some more. We'll try something else. I can leave that pink portion right there because I can come back in with a little bit of pink, and I'm fine with a dot there. I just think I don't want it all the way down. Maybe. Okay. Can work with that. All right, I'm gonna let that dry, but let's see, what was I in, a 2? 2.5. Let's see. Nope, I don't even think I like that one. Yep, I'm just gonna stick with the dot there. If you guys don't agree, let me know. I think that'll probably need some cleanup later, but I'm not going to worry about it right this second. We'll get the other elements in and see what it looks like. This one's a little funky today anyways. It's not a traditional in any sense. Okay. There. What I could try though is instead let's go to a 1.5. Okay, that's so far. There we go, that looks better. Pull it back together a little bit. So let's maybe get some walked dots in this space. I do probably want a lander. So let's get dark brown in here. Okay. Now a landing dot basically is just kind of a spacer. And then let's see, 5. I don't have a ton of room, so 5 looks to be just fine. This is the 2 that I'm putting right back on top here. And then I think I'll do a 1 for the actual locked part here. And I'll do another layer of block dots after this one too. This is actually a 3.5. I'm going to go down a full size for the locks. Okay. All right, I've got 2 things I want to add in here. All right. Now, this is a tool size 4, and I'm just going back over and touching up these ones here. This is a rose gold. This is a metallic. Fits right in with these colors. Actually, I can probably go 3.5 here. Yeah. That definitely makes that stand out a little bit more. I do need something on these white ones. And I might come back in on these little crowns here and add maybe the really dark brown. All right. I may want something that comes down here too. All right, let's see. Let's continue with this rose gold that I've got. I want to extend this out just a little bit around the back. I usually do a couple of crowns here. And that just may work. Let's see, I think we probably could go 4. And I'm just kind of using my hand here to rest on. One of the very last things that I could potentially do, because this one has a lot of empty space. I don't know that I really want to, no, I don't really want to mess with that. Where is, okay. Tiny bit of the chocolate sprinkle, which is the base color. I'm gonna go a little smaller. Maybe 2.5. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay. There we go. Almost done with that. There. Okay, so then, yeah, that looks a little better. Just bringing it together. I may actually want to do that here, but I'm gonna need maybe what, one? Okay, this is gonna take a minute. The little details are always nice, these little tiny dots, but oh my goodness, it's feels like it takes ages. And I stuck my finger in it, darn it. Okay. That'll happen eventually. Not the end of the world. All right, so the middle's looking better. I probably just want to wrap up something in the middle. Put something around here. I think what I'm going to do see if I can do this without messing the bottom up here when I turn it. I think I'm far enough away. Apparently I have some white on me. All right. It's probably 1.5, yeah. Okay. All right, we're basically just duplicating the original swoosh combination down there. And then same as on the bottom here, I'll go ahead and put a dot of the rose gold, and then this one will probably be done. We'll take a look and see if anything else might need to be adjusted, fixed, added. Do I want larger? No. Okay, 3.5 it is. I was not sure how this pink was going to turn out, but you know, it reminds me of a banana split. That's what I keep thinking about. It's banana split. Okay. Do we need something here? Do I want to add something to these? Maybe some white might not be bad in the center here. Or maybe should we just stick with the dark? Probably the dark. Let's see, where's my 3? Yeah, I'm probably gonna say the dark. It's gonna work out better. And that's that. I'm going to go ahead and give this at least a day to dry and then give it a seal. I'll do this with a gloss varnish. Okay. I mean, this one isn't too closed like the other ones. I can take that away now. Certainly different than the other ones. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. I think if anything today, you know, although this is a nutmeg brown, although it is still quite a bit lighter, I don't think I like it against the chocolate here, this chocolate sprinkle. So that color combination, just so I know in the future, I'm going to have to lighten that up just a little bit. I mean, I do like the color on its own. It does have a little bit of kind of that chestnut, that light hue to it. So can certainly make it work. I don't think I necessarily need to add anything else to this. I think that's going to work out just fine. I'm just stopping to think for a moment. I suppose if anything at all, one of the things that I could potentially do is take this rose gold and paint the center a rose gold, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a lift, since it's, I don't want to say plain, but it feels a little crazy, a little busy. The colors blend pretty well, the dark. So maybe the center being rose gold would bring it up a little bit more. I don't know if you like that idea. Let me know if you like that. I might come back in and paint the center, but otherwise, I think I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very, very much. Anyone that stopped by, I certainly do appreciate it. I normally don't stream at this time of day. I do have a typical 9 to 5. So usually my stream hours are going to be later in the evening, probably around maybe even between 9 and 10 p.m. Central Time, US. And on the weekends. But if you like the content, if you want to see more of this, certainly hit subscribe, leave me a comment if you have any questions, or if you've got suggestions for any color combinations coming up. I think for some other ones coming up, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of kind of a gray tone. I seem to like that. That came out really, really good on the other Tealights. So this one I'm not sold on. I'll be honest, I'm not sold on this one. We'll see what other people think. So, all right, but take care, guys. Have a fantastic day. I certainly hope you had a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.